Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Innkeeper, and today I'd like to welcome you all back to Battle Brothers. We played this game quite some time ago, back in its early alpha days. Now we have returned. It's gone into the beta stages, where it's just doing some sort of final testing, and the final update's been released before it sort of ships off into the sort of light testing, bug fixing stage before its final release. It's very exciting. There's been a lot of interesting changes to the game. For those that don't know what Battle Brothers is, it is a turn-based strategy RPG with a mercenary management system, which also has a sort of open world campaign at the same time. It's very interesting. I'm looking forward to getting back into it. I'm thinking I should play on veteran, because I have played a decent amount of this game. Granted, I haven't played much of, well, I haven't played any of the sort of latest update, and I think I last played a hell of a lot of it about 2 months ago. And a decent amount has changed, but I don't feel like I feel like it's going to be similar enough where I sort of want to have a little bit of an extra challenge. For those that don't know, difficulty doesn't necessarily mean the enemies are going to be harder. It just means items are going to cost more. You're going to get less rewards from completing quests, as it were, or contracts. And I believe there's sort of more enemies, but they are generally of the same stats, depending on what kind of item they have. They don't have any particular bonuses. And I thought to myself, because of these late game crises, I'm feeling like sort of like an undead Lightbringer kind of mood right now. And I feel like we could go for some sort of paladin order, as it were, for our mercenary group. And I feel like we could go with, I wonder if we have... Do we have a catch limit? I don't know. We're about to find out. The Lights Crusaders. I like that. Is that how you spell Crusaders? Crusaders. It seems right to me. If not, then, you know, we're going to have a lot of mercenary camps probably, you know, pointing the finger at us and laughing their asses off because we misspelled something. Look, we're in the medieval times. Most people were illiterate. Okay, I'm just merely being authentic. So there we are. What kind of flag do we run it? Oh, that's a nice one. That's like a proper Crusaders flag. So we're going for sort of a undead scourge destruction group. It doesn't mean we're going to refrain from killing anything else. It just means our primary roleplay is to try and kill as many undead bastards as possible, which is why I've made the late game crisis an undead scourge. For those that don't know, a late game crisis, at a particular point, there's going to be a big event, whether it be a war with the noble houses, an orc raid or an orc invasion, or an undead scourge where lots of people come back to life and try to kill things. This late game event, I don't know when it appears. I think it might be after a certain number of days. And I don't know how random that really is. You can also have a random option, but it will happen and it will be a mess. And I'm looking forward to it because I've not really seen it happen before. That's an interesting one. The last one I saw right here is quite interesting. I wonder if you can go for some sort of like... We praise the undead kind of build. That'd be quite interesting. Let's see. No. Oh, that's a nice one. They got like, that's a proper crusade right there. That's the Holy Crusades. They got like the desert and all that kind of stuff. Oh, that one's interesting. Is that like a goat? There's an interesting creature right there. Okay then. I like these new flag designs as well. That's also a good one. Although too much blood in it, I feel. The Lights Crusaders. Well, actually, no. Oh, those contract notes. They remind me of Darkest Dungeon, actually. Those little pendants or whatever they are right there. I feel like that flag will be a bit of a pain to maintain. Is anyone else getting that vibe? I feel like we should go for this one over here, yeah. Either that one or this one's a bit cleaner. I suppose this one's a bit messy. We could go for something a bit cleaner. Being the cross. I don't necessarily think we are religious in this group. Or it's not necessarily pushed upon us. It's mostly we're Crusaders. Where it's a political message. We need to take out any undead. And I feel like this kind of thing right here is a ray of hope among just banners of dread. So there we are. Fantastic. I like it. Veteran difficulty, which means we're going to have basically less starting money. Things are going to cost more. And contracts are going to be more challenging and not pay as much. And we can't carry as many types of different resources, which doesn't really matter too much if you manage it well. Let's do it. The Lights Crusaders. I'm liking it. I'm excited to get into it. I also should have really put the Iron Man mode on there, but I guess it doesn't really matter. We're fine. So you can read that if you want. This is basically the tutorial. So you're not really... You as a player don't have a character. You're the sort of manager, as it were, of this group of mercenaries. There isn't necessarily a leader of the mercenary group because you are it. You're just not fighting around because you got injured in this particular engagement right here. You're probably just one of these dudes that are bleeding out or something. So here we are. This is just a tutorial, essentially. This sort of gets you through the main thing. It looks like we're in sort of like a nice little tundra layout right here. They have added a good amount of layouts in the game now for particular different types of biomes. Not to mention there's now also sort of these little flags to represent how far or where you need to be in order to actually flee. So what do we have right here? So we're going to do a bit of renaming. So I'm not going to bother naming some of these people just yet. We could go for the snipe on Brigand Fug right here. For those that aren't aware, we have a crossbow, light crossbow, and we have about 10 bolts right there. Fantastic. Don't have any perks right there. This is a revamped perk system as well, which is quite interesting. Let's see. I think we should go for the guy in the back, although repositioning I feel like is a good idea. Probably around about here, because otherwise we're going to be in a little bit of a pickle once they charge up. We're going to go for the guy in the back. He doesn't have a shield as well, which makes it even better. Ah, nice shot. Now, I don't really know what some of these other downgrades are. So he's got a pierced chest. I don't know if that means he's got bleed on him now or something, but we're just going to move back here. Also, I should really have ended my turn there. I'm not going to really do anything with them. So you do take turns. This is based on your initiative, by the way. So everyone has a starting initiative, which is this one? No, this action point. Where the hell is it? There we go, initiative. So if you have a high initiative, it means you get to go first, essentially. And you can take your go again. If you don't feel like making a go, just click space to wait their turn and they'll get thrown into the back, essentially. So you've got essentially 2 rounds, as it were. Or you could just end their turn completely. Right now, I feel pretty good where we are. I usually go for the spear wall in this kind of particular situation. I feel like if I move up here, spear wall, it's going to make them move downwards, however. So I feel like staying where I am might be an okay idea for now. Meanwhile, the Axeman, I think he should move back a little bit. It means this guy's probably going to walk in and take a slash at our crossbowman. But I feel like if we get him in sort of a position where he's basically trapped between all of us, this guy's probably not going to get... no, he probably will be able to get to us. I think it's 2 points an action, or each movement, it takes 2 points from their action. So action points right here. AP, essentially, it costs 2 to move. You can see it right there on the little banner right there. Flat and firm ground covered with dry and shriveled grass. Shriveled grass, sorry. Costs 2 AP and 4 fatigue to traverse. Our fatigue is right here, by the way. We can rest. So he's moving up top. They like to get away from the spear wall. It's very powerful. But now we have an open shot for our crossbowmen. So they're going to reload. The good thing about crossbows is they can reload and shoot at the same turn, which is quite good. However, the downgrade with that is that they can't really shoot twice. They end up being a little bit more accurate. However, we're in a little bit of a tough situation here because these shots are very low down right here. Line of fire is blocked by the shieldman. Line of fire is also blocked by our guy right here. So what we want to do is probably wait his turn and probably move our shield guy up. So that's what we're going to do. At the same time, do you want to break his shield? Or do we want to just go for the hit? 45% chance for the hit. It's not insane, but it definitely would get rid of his huge range defense bonus because the shield does add quite a significant amount. I think we should break the shield. There we go. We're going to break the shield. That does use up quite a lot of fatigue. As you can see down here, this is where our skills are. And we're going to move up right here. For those that are wondering, this little red spot right here, this is basically their sphere of influence, as it were. We move into the influence ring, it means that we're in combat. If we try to exit from the ring, it means that they have a certain percentage chance of hitting us and stopping us from moving. So I forgot what it's really called, the system. But that's it's a pretty neat one. I think we're going to go for this guy right here. He's sort of out in the open. Although you are quite heavily damaged, so perhaps we'll go for you. Nice! A good shot. Now, I think if we move here, we won't have a good line of sight. Oh, well, not just that. We won't be able to move, unfortunately, or shoot. So we're just going to have to skip our turn here. It's going to go for the slash. 2 of them right there. I don't think I've ever had someone die in this scenario. I don't know if they can. We're going to go for the 63% chance and also reload in the same turn. And I think we're just going to go for the double jab with the spearman right there. And I think with you, 60% chance to hit. It's not amazing, but we got to go for it. Nice. Fantastic. We got a sword from that. So here we are. This is basically the battle for the tutorial, so you can read for that if you wish. And here's our world. Oh, we got a really interesting one right here. There's lots of sort of snaky... There's sort of like a snaky terrain going on right here. Lots of rivers, or well, actually inland seas, sort of. The sea is trying to take over, as it were. And it looks like the big civilization right here is this lot. If we can look on the civilization, or factions even. The factions House Growl. Growl, okay. Like a wolf, I'm assuming. Interesting. Then we have House Wilburg. And then House Winter Hall. So these are the leaders of the houses right here. They look a hell of a lot more prestigious than I recall. Look at him. Look at that. Baron Conrad von Winterhall. Von Winterhall. Duke, Count. Lots of barons and counts here. Who's the most prestigious lot? Well, I feel like this lot. They're pretty... They've got a good control of the inland right here. We also have the... I gotta remember all these names. Wilburg right here. You seem to have control of sort of the southern sea. And then we also have this lot. Which... Wait, were they on the map? Yeah, they are. Okay, Winterhall. Merv's mucking around with his bell right now. What are you doing, buddy? I forgot to mention I'm also using my new audio setup. So hopefully it sounds alright. I'm still tweaking at the moment. So it's a process, as it were. Alright, we're looking good. So let's get our adventure started. So first thing first, let's, rename the people in our company. I did say that not necessarily you're one of these characters, but you can do that if you want to. It's just not really part of the whole story. You can dismiss the characters, and then you got this massive screen right here, which shows their stats, what their traits are, what their abilities are. Abilities are based on the weapons that they are holding, not to mention the kind of perks that they have available to them. Some are better than others, and they're all situational. They all have a purpose. What I like to really do is get rid of anyone using ranged weapons. I don't like ranged weapons. I think they're really bad. You're feasting again. I can't have any of this. Get over it. No. What are you doing? He's trying to move as far back as he can. There we go. Righty then. Anyway. Distracting me. Damn bird. I don't know what these are, though. These little shields. Dissatisfied. Oh, okay. I wonder what kind of downgrade that is. Dissatisfied. 42%. Not uncommon for someone living the hardships of mercenary life. This character isn't quite satisfied and is hoping for things to improve. Can only have steady morale or worse. Won a battle, lost most of the company. Alright, so this is just sort of one of those things. Okay, then. So, let's see what kind of traits we have right here. So, they're a companion, which means they start off with sort of better than stats than what you would find generally lying around. They're loyal, so I believe that means they have increased morale. They are superstitious, or this person is superstitious, so it has minus 10 resolve at morale checks against fear, panic, or mind control effects. And then, of course, the dissatisfied, which doesn't seem to... I guess this also affects their morale at a greater level. So I'm going to rename this character to me, the Innkeeper. I tend to give titles to people that have earned them. You can request to be named in this series, by the way. However, for now, I'm just going to add the people in that I know of. And we'll also throw Icarus in here. Right, there we go. So we got us, Icarus, got me. Parrot, what are you doing? If we get any new people, I'll name them accordingly. We can have quite a large number of people in our company. I believe we can also have people wait inside towns as well. So there's plenty of spaces available. And I feel like this sort of dissatisfaction mechanic is probably going to be used to great effect to deal with this sodding parrot. Damn it! This is the first episode of this series, and you're causing so much trouble. Alright, move you along there we go. Hopefully that will be dealt with accordingly. Although that's slightly aside. Alrighty then. Right, this is just perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'm going to try my best to keep this a sort of episode by episode series instead of doing sort of one long recording and then chopping it to pieces. However, if some episodes do sort of drag on a little bit or get a little bit too long, then I will have to split them apart. Oh, that fucking parrot is going to be the death of me. Right, let's go over to... I don't know how to pronunciate a hell of a lot of these names. However, it looks like a wizard is living in this place. Look at him. Looks amazing. Okay, then. So, we the return to Jadberg. Okay, then. We expect to get paid for this. Like I said, this is the tutorial. So, we're going to get some money for going to kill Hoggarts. We're going to get 400 crowns to go and take revenge against Hoggarts. So, let's go take him out. Let's do it. So, we need to... First, pause the game. We have quests, sort of objectives right here. So, we're the Light Crusaders. Do you think it should be the Light Crusaders? Can we rename this? Oh, I didn't know you could open and close that. That's really cool. I like the little print right there as well. Anyway, the Light Crusaders. Now, I guess the Light Crusaders would imply... Ooh, ambition. I've not seen this system work yet, so it's going to be quite interesting. Keeping an eye on Merv. He's in places he shouldn't be. Alright, also we should check what kind of terrain we've got right here. Okay. Looks like only one place is in a snowy terrain, although I might add, there are other towns over here, most probably. There might even be some sort of stuck in some of these little areas that we've yet to discover. There could even be an island around here or something. You never know. I like this town over here. Now, what we call this land, I don't know. I suppose we should look for sort of the biggest town that we can find. Which I think I saw a really big one. This one's quite neat. I like this positioning here. We got a lot of areas down there. Oh, this one's really big. Look at that. Dunst Feast. Anyway. What we need to do is make our way over to this little village right here. So let's go ahead and find out what we can do. We need to go over there because we need to... Am I hearing things? No, okay, I'm not hearing things. There are bad things happening in my house right now. Anyway. We live in the dark places. That's it. The Light Crusaders will bring justice to the land by destroying the evil creatures within it. Seems like we've got an amber mine, but it's across the river. It's quite interesting. So, along the way, there's a lot of text, sort of TLDR kind of stuff going on in this game. I don't necessarily read it too much. I'll keep the month for long enough so you can pause and read through it, however. So, we've got a contract right here. However, we already have one assigned to us. We can only have... I think we can have more than one contract at a time. I think in the past I've had more than one at a time. I don't recall. But anyway, so if we look at our quests right here, we need to recruit 3 people. So let's go and see what's on the hires list right now. We need 3 brave crusaders to join us on the holy regime against the undead foes that are around every corner. So we have a servant right here. Their backgrounds generally decide what kinds of stats they're going to have. Some of them are more obvious. They'll literally just tell you what they will give. At the moment, doesn't seem to be the case. The militiaman right here is looking pretty strong. However, the funds, I don't know if we could really afford him. I feel like we might go for it because the items he has on board are also, or the items he already has, not to mention being a militia member, is probably going to give him a decent amount of stats. A militiaman like Ivar is only raised in times of need. Even though he fought just as hard as the professionals, he found himself unable to garner any sort of respect for his work. When his militia was disbanded, he returned home to find his town had been burned to the ground. 1 foot already in the door, it only made sense to join one of the numerous mercenary bands roaming the land. I like the idea of this guy. He's pretty cool. We got a bunch of cheap bastards around us as well. So you know what? We're going to pick him up. We just need 2 more. We probably just go for the servant right here. He's also got a cheap daily wage at the same time. We have to remember we're playing challenging as well, which means we've got to be a little bit careful. You're looking like an odd one right there. He's a caravan hand. Interesting. A day tailor is generally just a person that does anything. They're an everyman. They don't have any particular skill. Historian right here. I don't know what kind of attributes they would really have. I think we've got 2 caravan hands right here. Tell you what, we're definitely going to go for the servant. And we could even pick up Harvard right here, the day tailor. I think they're good enough. We need to keep some money to buy ourselves some more equipment for our journey. First things first, to sell this crossbow. Don't want to sell the food because we do need that in order to keep our group alive. So we've got 3 days worth of resources. I do very much enjoy pitchforks or polearms, sort of 2-handed weapons. They are extremely powerful in the right hands. If we look at our group right here, I don't have to go out like that. We can see it looks like some of them are in good spirits. Has a 25% chance... Yeah, start again. has a 25% chance to start battle at confident morale. That's quite fantastic. You lot right here seem neutral. Yep, you're very much content. Has enjoyed the visit. Oh, all right, interesting. You can enjoy your visits as well. Looks like you're in a little bit of... Yeah, you need some healing right there. Usk. First things first. Let's get some more names in. Got Dan the Man. Right there. He's not this conscript. Leave him there right now. We've got Nelria. Let's throw Nelria into the pit. Nelria, you are the servant. Makes sense, I feel. And then, let's see. We got me, Usk, Icarus, Dan, Nelria. Let's get Blunter in there. There we are. Blunter's in there. Looks like you're like the day tailor there. Bit of a thief-looking character. Fantastic. Anyway, so that's sort of the groups right there. Let's see. We need to buy some resources, as I said. So we're definitely going to get a pitchfork at the very least. I might even get myself a shield. Yep, we're definitely going to get a shield. I don't know how I feel about the bludgeoning weapons, because they're good. They are pretty good, but early on, they're not too insane, because they have a hell of a lot of fatigue penalties in any of their abilities, and that early on's not really fantastic. Good later on, because I think there are some abilities that do have bonuses to some stats. We're also going to grab ourselves the thick tunic right there. And at the same time, do we want this axe? Or this hatchet? I think we do. Let's grab the hatchet. Alright, let's distribute accordingly. So, melee skill. Let's see who has the best melee skill. Also, some of them have a sort of quality right here with these stars, which do sort of represent just how skillful they are in these particular areas. I can't remember in what regard to how it really treats this skill, how it gives a bonus. Like, for instance, right here, we have a ranger. You know, they did some ranging before, so they've got some stars in their sort of range and range defense. Like I said, I don't really go for rangers. I don't care for them too much. Maybe they've improved, I don't know, but I just don't find them to be particularly fantastic. Tell you what, Usk, you should definitely get the polearm. I think two-handed weapons in this game that have a single reach aren't very good. The thing that's great about polearms is they can shoot from 2 tiles away, as you can see right there, which means that you can have them in the back of the line doing a hell of a lot of damage while being defended by people that are a little bit more tanky. It's really good. At the same time, they're hard to hit because they're at the back of the line, so they're blocked from line of sight from any ranged combatants. It's a fantastic system, and I always go for a couple polearmors. Usually just a line of polearms, and then the other line just a bunch of tanks. It's pretty fantastic. Let's see. Dan, you're looking pretty good. I'm fine with what you've got right now. You don't have a helmet, Icarus, and I feel like because you're a party member, you should definitely get a helmet. So I think I saw a hood here. Fantastic. For those that aren't aware, there's a lot of unaware things right now that I need to talk about. There are so many things to talk about. I did purchase that hood, right? Or did I sell it? Did I sell a hood? I'm sure I purchased it. It's right here, yeah. Confused. Right, let me go out and back in. Is it counting? I'm really not sure what's going on right now. Where's my stash? If I look in here, you can see these items in my stash. Am I witnessing a bug? Is that what's happening here? Also, where's my shield? Is it because of the character I've got on? Or selected? I need to... Oh, right, it's because I have weapons on, that's why. There we go. Bit silly. Didn't realize I clicked on that. Right. Helmet. Take a drink. It's not much of a helmet, but I'm sure it will help them against any sort of ranged attacks. Don't worry about it. Let's also get... Now, Dan's fine. You should hold this. Then again, let's see. 55, 55, 50... Is that 55 as well? Yeah, what about this? Okay, it's 35. Not great at all. What about this armor? 20 versus 10. Take those rags off, Blunter. Put that on. We're also going to give you a shield, Icarus. And at the same time, I might get another pitchfork for Neria. What's your melee stat? Okay, it's not bad. Oh, you know what? Neria's got a really good melee stat, though. Not as good as Dan's, but you know what? It's not always the best idea to give someone a pitchfork. They can only hit once. which is the downgrade of having, or the downside of having a pitchfork. Tell you what, though. We'll give Neria this. We'll rearrange our party, in fact. So I might add the layout that you have right here is where they spawn in as well. So you can move some of these to the back if you really want to. Which is probably for the best. So I'm going to do that. It's an interesting formation. And then I'm going to give Blunter the... Actually, not Blunter. No, Nelria. I'm going to give Nelria the other pitchfork that we have inside the shop. We're also going to sell the other stuff that we have because we don't really need it. We don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Grab that pitchfork. We could also get a throwing net, which is quite cool. It's like a sort of... It keeps them in one place. We're also going to buy some more food as well. Don't want to run out of too much money because, of course, we do have daily wages at the same time, and we might even break a few weapons here and there. I'm feeling good with what we have. Let's put that onto you. Nice. We've got a good group going right here. However, do we have any more shields? It's still a defense bonus, and it doesn't cost very much, so we may as well just give you the buckler there, Blunter. I'm liking it. Let's get into it. So let's go and take out this little old bugger. Oh, we need to make our way back. Okay. I don't know how we cross here. If there's some pebbles that we go across, or we just sort of breaststroke our way over there with all this armor on. Then again, we don't have any armor on, so I suppose that's something to think about. We can also increase the speed of the game, which is neat. See if we feel like it's taking too long for us to get anywhere. It is nighttime, so we have reduced movement speed. I wonder if that affects morale. I wonder if we get... Oh, I'm annoyed because we're running in the night. Nope, doesn't seem like it. So we've got our group. Wait, what's that? Weaponsmith. Oh, okay. It tells you what's inside the town now. I wonder if it only tells you if you visited. That'd be quite interesting. So yeah, they got a weaponsmith. Some towns have other things. Some towns have more things than others. Mostly it's if you're in a city, they tend to have a bit of everything. The bill hook is amazing. It has an insane amount of effectiveness against armor, while also dishing out a hell of a lot of damage. I think it also has the bonus to hit the head, whereas other sort of ranged weapons don't necessarily have that ability. The pike is 60 to 80 damage, 60 to 90 damage, but has 150 effectiveness against armor. And 30 armor ignored, 30 armor ignored. Yeah, the bill hook is just, it's so strong. I've not seen the military pick before, though. That's an interesting weapon. Some things are better against armor than others. Some builds, you might even want to have someone wield a pickaxe and another item that is good against flesh, for instance, a sword. So the battle's going to begin. The Lights Crusaders' fate will be tested today. However... We're about 30 minutes into today's session, so I feel like we should end it here. It also looks like we have a hidden knife camp. Just loads of hidden knives. Many brigand raiders. I think that's about 7 raiders. And a brigand leader. So just one leader. So that's about 8 people in that. We don't really want to engage that area. Here, however, we've got a few brigand thugs, which I think is 4. And then a leader, which is just the 1. Very cool. I'm looking forward to getting into this fight, ladies and gents. And then we can go onto our merry ways through the lands of light. Yeah, the lands of light. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter for updates on my channel and Twitch for live streams. It's been a pleasure as always. And look forward to seeing you all next time for some more Battle Brothers. Bye-bye.